Okay, so now let's go ahead and take on an example on AS11. It is an example where you are given a branch, a trial balance in foreign currency, and your job is to translate the numbers in the trial balance into the reporting currency, in this case the Indian rupee. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take on this example, illustration number 7. It is from chapter 7 in your study mat. In that unit number 3, illustration number 7. Yes, go ahead with the question, Renuka.
A business having the head office in Kolkata has a branch in UK. The following is a trial balance of branch as at 31st March 2000 X4.
So, point to know the head office in Calcutta. So, that is rupee is supposed to be the reporting currency. And they have a branch in the UK. So, it is going to be the UK pounds. Or we say GBP, the Great British Pounds, is your foreign currency. Yes, a trial balance is given to you.
Yes, account name and amount in pounds. Machinery purchased on 1st April 20X1 for 5,000 pounds.
You have 5,000 pounds of machinery purchased on 1420X1. Next.
Debtors 1,600 pounds. Opening stock 400 pounds.
So debtors, when they say, should be a closing debtors as on 31st March. Okay, debtors given. Next.
Opening stock is given.
Okay.
Then goods received from head office account 6,100 pounds.
Okay.
Recorded in head office books as 4,02,000 rupees.
Point to note, the 6,100 pounds of goods received by the branch from the head office, and the value of these goods are sent from the head office in rupee terms, we know it's 4,02,000.
2,000.
Next.
Sales 20,000 pounds.
Next.
Purchases 10,000 pounds.
Okay.
Wages 1,000 pounds. Salaries 1,200 pounds.
Okay.
Cash 3,200 pounds. Remittance to head office recorded in head office books as 1,91,000 rupees. 2,900 pounds.
So remittance to head office is given very clearly. The rupee value is given to you, right? Next.
Head office account recorded in head office books as 4,90,000 rupees, 7,400 pounds.
It is 7,400, debit or credit?
Credit.
Okay, credit. And the rupee value is given as?
4,90,000
That's
rupees.
it. Next.
Creditors 4,000 pounds.
Okay.
Now adjustment closing stock at branch is pound 700 on 31st March 20X4.
You know, all these are adjustments to the accounts, right? Closing stock, how much?
700 pounds.
Okay.
Depreciation at 10% per annum is to be charged on machinery.
Fine.
Prepare trial balance after being converted in Indian rupees. Exchange rate of pounds on different dates are as follows. 1st April 20X1, 61 rupees.
61 is supposed to be the exchange rate between the rupee and the pound as on 14X1 when you bought the machine. Next.
14X3, it is 63 rupees.
So 14X3, that is supposed to be the beginning of the current year.
Yeah.
That is 14X3 is how much?
63 rupees.
It is rupees 63 a pound. Then
And 31st March 20X4 is 67 rupees.
that is closing is 31st March
20.
X4. How much?
67 rupees.
It is rupees 67. Next.
That's it, sir.
Average rate not given.
No, not given.
Okay. So when nothing is given, you can find the average rate to be opening rate
Plus
the closing
by
rate divided by 2.
2.
You can do that.
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
Now let us
we
go
get
ahead and take
65
on
average.
65 rupees average rate. Now let us take on the solution. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So where you have been asked to convert
Pounds into rupees.
pounds into rupees, and nothing is specified in the question, at least going by the data, is very clear that the branch depends on the head office for the goods. Yes or no? The branch receives the goods from the head office.
Yes.
That means when I say branch is an integral foreign operation. It is an integral foreign operation, that is IFO, and not NFO.
Non-integral.
That is a non-integral foreign operation. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So since goods are bought from the head office, we can say the branch depends on the head office for the goods to be sold in the UK. Therefore, the branch is only an extension of the head office operations. Now, please remember, whenever it's an integral foreign operation, the rule is very simple. Your monetary items, example cash, debtors and creditors, will be translated into your reporting currency using the closing rate of exchange. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Number 2, what about your fixed assets? Will be translated using the exchange rate between the two currencies as on the date of acquisition. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Number 3, what about the opening stock? You can use the opening exchange rate. What about closing stock? The closing exchange rate. And what about items of income and expense? So sales, purchases, wages and salaries, all these are translated at an average rate because sales are made through the year and then wages are paid through the year, salary paid through the year, and purchase, if any, made by the branch, again average rate. But where the goods are received from the head office and then the remittance to the head office, and then you have I think a head office account amount due to head office, the credit balance, right?
Yes, sir.
All these you can take the rupee value given in the question itself. This sum can come for 5 marks in your Jan 2025 examination. Guys, read this example really well. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma. Now let's go through the trial balance. Yeah, the solution.
Yes, sir. They made particulars column, pounds debit credit column, then conversion basis, then rupee debit credit column.
And you can follow this format. Okay, so particulars, and then in pounds, a foreign currency, debits and credits, then conversion basis, and then you have rupees, debits and credits. Yes.
So machinery first, 5,000 pounds. It is conversion basis on transaction date rate.
That is all. 5,000 pounds into rupees 61. Because that was the exchange rate on 14x1 when you bought the machine.
Yes, sir.
So 5,000 pounds into 61 works out to 3 lakh and 5,000 rupees a debit balance. Is that fine?
Yes,
Being
sir.
an asset. Next.
Debtors 1,600 pounds. It's a closing rate. Therefore, 1,07,200 rupees.
How do you get that? 1,600 into rupees
67.
67, the closing rate of exchange. Next.
Then opening stock 400, opening rate 25,200 rupees.
Nothing but that into rupees 63 a pound. Next.
Goods received from head office 6,100 pounds.
Actuals.
Yeah, 4,02,000.
And write that amount under debit, right?
Yes,
4,02,000 rupees. The rupee value is given in the question. Next.
Sales 20,000 pounds. Average rate. Therefore, 13 lakh is the
Nothing
rupee.
but 20,000 pounds into rupees 65. 65 is not given in the question, guys. So when the average rate of exchange is not given in the question, then what do? Use this formula,
Opening and
opening
closing
rate
rate.
of exchange plus the closing rate of exchange divided by 2, which is 63 plus 67 by 2 works out to 65. Next.
So the next is purchases 10,000 pounds. Average rate 6,50,000 rupees.
So purchases made 10,000 pounds at what rate? At
Average rate.
65, right? Which is 6,50,000. Next.
Wages paid 1,000 pounds. Average rate 65,000.
Okay, next.
Salaries 1,200. Average rate 78,000 rupees. Cash 3,200. Closing rate 2,14,400. Remittances to head office 2,900. At actuals 1,91,000.
So please remember the remittance will be at the actuals. The rupee value is given in the question.
Yeah.
Next.
HO account for 7,400 pounds. At actuals 4,90,000 rupees.
Is that fine?
Yes.
So do remember your sales, wages, salaries, purchases, all these are at average rate of exchange at rupees 65. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So what if for the remittance and HO account actuals are not given, sir?
So normally what happens for remittance and this thing HO account will be given because
Okay.
who is going to translate? The HO will be translating. Won't I know
How much?
at what rate I converted the pounds into rupees when you guys remitted the amount? Got it?
Yes, sir.
And also know the head office account, the balance amount. I know exactly. So in your books, what? Let's say you are the branch. In your books, it will be what? Amount due to head office, right? In my books, it will be what? Amount due from branch. So I'll have the rupee value.
Okay.
Therefore, the head office account credit balance for you will be shown as what? Branch account in my books, a debit balance. For you, amount due to head office. For me, amount
Due
from the branch if I am the head office. I know the rupee value of that amount. How much? The last item.
90,000.
How much?
4,90,000.
Exactly. Therefore, don't bother. They will specify the rupee value for these items.
Yes.
For 3 items, they specify. What is that? Goods.
Received from H office.
Because I'm sending goods, right? You are
Remittance to
receiving.
head office
Remittance to head office.
and head office account.
For these items, guys, don't bother. They'll give the rupee value.
Okay.
All these numbers will be available with the head office. Next.
Then creditors 4,000, closing rate 2,68,000.
I said no, all your monetary items, cash, debtors and creditors will be at the closing rate of exchange.
Then
Next.
exchange rate difference, balancing figure in only rupee 20,200.
This 20,200 rupees will be recognized in my profit and or rather in the profit and loss account. When I prepare a branch, a trading and P&L to ascertain your financial performance, I recognize this exchange gain. It's a credit balance, right?
Debits.
Debit, it's a loss.
Yeah.
An exchange, a loss in this case being a debit balance, will be recognized in the branch profit and loss account. Please remember that, right? And then now below the trial balance, yes ma, closing stock.
Yes, sir. Actually, it's a credit balance, sir, because we got it on the debit side. I'm sorry.
No, it's a debit, right?
Debit, right,
It's a
yeah.
debit
Debit
side.
balance, right,
Debit
yeah,
side.
okay.
You don't say debit or credit, it's on the debit side.
It's a debit side, yeah.
Yeah, whenever the exchange difference comes on the debit side, there's an
a debit
exchange
balance,
loss. That's it.
Yes.
There's an exchange loss. No doubt about that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Don't bother about that. If the exchange the difference appears on the credit side is what? An exchange gain.
Gain.
So, okay, this exchange loss will be transferred to profit and loss account. Now just see below the trial balance. Now what is a closing stock? 700
pounds and closing rate, so 46,900 rupees.
At rupees 67 a pound. What about depreciation? We know it's 500 pounds,
Yes, sir.
which is 10% of 5,000. And translated at
Fixed asset rate.
exactly the same rate used for fixed assets, which is rupees 61 a pound.
So 30,500.
That is all, guys. So learn this example really well, even if you haven't done branch accounting at all, okay, in your CA inter career. It doesn't matter. Learn this sum really well for examination. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.